What is up, my lads and ladettes, and welcome back to Call to Arms. By the way, that is my new intro. I'm making that my new intro. What is up, my lads and ladettes, and welcome back to more Call to Arms. And today we have something very, very special for you. Now, this is something I actually created on my own. This was no mod, but I am actually using the faction mod again for this particular episode today. But this was my own creation. This was my own idea. Now, this tank, or this challenge specifically, is called the Great British Tank Off. Now, you've heard of the cooking show, the Great British Bake Off, which is where, if you haven't heard of it, is basically where it's on TV and it's British Bake Off, so everybody's baking off against each other. This is the tank version. This is the Great British Tank Off Obstacle Course Challenge. Now, of course, I'm not going to put that in the full title, but that's what it's called. So today, I'm going to be running through what is about to happen. So as you can see, we have a lot of stuff going on right now. It is a wee bit laggy right now, but that's just because I'm trying to record and do this at the same time. But we have an obstacle course set out here right in front of your beautiful eyes right now. As you can see, this took me I would say only took me about half an hour to actually set up, so it's not even that bad. So I did test everything and everything is good to go. So what is this challenge? So what it is that I myself are going to get in control. So I am on test mode in this thing, so I have unlimited manpower and all that, so don't need to worry. So the tanks are going to have the British are testing out which are the best tanks to use in modern warfare, or in modern warfare. So, and they are testing two main things when testing out these tanks today: firepower and mobility. And the main reason the British are trying this is because, well, they want to know how they're going to be in action and whether it is going to be suited for action, when they get into war. So we have been given the objective to set up an obstacle course to test out how these vehicles do against each other. So we are starting off with the challenges that the tanks will be facing off against each other, and they are going up. They're going up against each other. And how it works is that we are going to be starting off with the light vehicles first facing on the kind of the light tanks against each other, and then we're going off against the medium to light armored against each other, and then we're going to heavies against each other. So we have the FV510 facing off against the FV510. So those guys will be going against each other, and then we'll have the Warrior facing off against the Warlord, and then we'll have the Challenger 2 facing off against its brother, the Challenger 2 Applique, or the ATDU, or whatever it is. So we have got our starting line over here. I've put two jeeps over here to start it off. So how it will go, I will run through it right now. So I am starting off with this vehicle over here. So what I have to do is I have to go in and out these supply trucks within keeping in the roads. That's why these vehicles are on the side here, because if I even blow up these supply trucks, or if I go off the road, then there'll be a penalty of 5 seconds added on. So it is a timed race to see how well they do, how quick they will be. So if I go even onto the grass, or if I bash into one of these vehicles or bash into supply trucks, then there will be a penalty of 5 seconds added on. And so this is going to be kind of like the easy part of the obstacle course. So just going in and out of these supply trucks, and then when we get here, this is kind of medium to easy. So we have to try and get through this area, the small gap over here. And then once we've done that, we are going to go again in and out of these supply trucks. And then once we get to here, unfortunately, there are troops blocking off this wee easy path over here. So we have to go round, up here, round, out of here, which is kind of like the medium to hard part of the obstacle course. And then going on to the hard part of the obstacle course is going around these mortars. Now, with these, the reason I've placed these here is because the mortars are small, and they're very vulnerable, and they're very easy to hit. So that's why I've placed it here with a small gap. So again, going in and out of these mortars, trying not to kill any of our troops, and if they die, then then I'm sorry, we will be writing a letter to your family. But we have to go in and out of these mortars, try not to hit them. Again, if I go off the path here or off the road, now I am allowed to kind of go slightly kind of on this kind of pavement over here, because it is still part of the road. Even though it's a giant crater, it is still part of the road, so that is allowed. So I have to go in and out of these vehicles. If I blow up or kill any of the men or the mortars, then again a penalty will be added on of 5 seconds. And yeah, and then by the end, and once I've gone through the mortars, I have to stop at these pedestrian crossing, and then I have to blow up these vehicles over here. Well, in this case with the FV, because it can't kill itself, where I've put Land Rovers on, so it's easy to kill. So that is the obstacle course. So again, we're testing firepower and we're testing mobility to see how powerful these guns are against each other, and also mobility to see how quickly we can get through this obstacle course. So yeah, that is it for that is how the obstacle course is going to go. Now, if you do want to see more of these kind of challenges, let's say, because it is a challenge, they are facing off against each other. So if you do like these challenge / obstacle courses and you want more of this, make sure you do leave a like on the channel. Make sure you do subscribe if you're new, because you will get a shout out at the end of the video. And also, I do have a shout out to do. And also, just quickly before we start, guys, I just like to thank you. I've just read my emails the other day. Our channel has hit a massive 60,000 views in total over the channel, which is absolutely mind-boggling. We're actually above that now. But that is absolutely, I just spat, but that is absolutely amazing. I can't thank you guys enough. So keep going, keep giving the love, keep giving the support, and we are going to go from here. So are we ready? So our first competitor up today is the FV510. So this thing is very maneuverable, very quick, but unfortunately it doesn't have that large punchy, well, it has a nice punchy gun that we need a nice 30mm gun, which should be able to take out the jeeps at the end. So I'm going to get my my phone here, and I'm going to get the stopwatch going. So I am going to be timing these vehicles. So that means at the end we'll see how long we have, or it'll be how long until they finish, or I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, so we're going to time them to see how they go on. Again, if I go off the road or anything, there will be a penalty of 5 seconds. I will add it on. So if you guys are ready, and if I'm ready, which I am, then we are going to get started on this epic journey. So as soon as I press that W key, I'm going to press the start button on my stopwatch, and we are going to get going. So if you guys are ready and I'm ready, we're going to get into this in 3, 2, 1. Let's go, baby. Go, 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 go. All right, here we go. So first of all, we are going to have to go in and out of these supply trucks. So a nice kind of easy start to it. Try not blow any of these up. Now, I'm sorry if it does lag a wee bit, but I'm going to be doing my best. So of course this is going to be a wee bit slow going in and out of these vehicles, but this is all part of the challenge. We're going to have to see how well the mobility does. Alright, okay, that is now part 1 complete. Alright, we're going to have to get through this quite narrow but easy gap over here, which is really easy for this FE, a nice small vehicle trying to get through. Alright, now we're going to have to go in and out of these supply trucks. So this time it's more of a kind of turning angle compared to the ones where it's just a quick in and out. We're going to have to make kind of full kind of 45-degree turns over here. Alright, okay, nice and easy so far. Alright, okay, here we go. Oh, did I go out? Oh, I don't know. Alright, okay, now we're going to have to go kind of up and around the supply vehicles. Try not to bash into anything. Okay, excellent. Alright, okay, here, now it's the hard part. Now we're going to have to go in and out of these mortars. Now this is going to be very difficult. This is definitely going to test the ultimate mobility of this vehicle. We're going to see how quickly we can try and do this. And come on, there we go. Oh my god. Oh, this is going to be very hard. Oh my god. Now I'm allowed to blow up these vehicles, so if these vehicles blow up, then it's not really my fault. It's just the vehicles are in the way. Oh my god, lamppost went down. It's okay, the lampposts are fine. Alright, okay, I managed to do it. Alright, okay, let's get to the pedestrian line. Okay, excellent. Right, let's blow these up. Okay, I can't really blow it up for some reason. Okay, the 30 cal isn't really doing it. I thought the 30 cal would be able to kind of blow these things up, but it's just going straight through. But there we go. And stop. Okay, unfortunately I wasn't able to kind of blow it up. I don't know why, but you can see that there's definitely gaps in here, so we've definitely hit them. But there we go. That is the FV107 done. That was 1 minute and 38 seconds for the FV107. I will put it up on the screen so we have kind of a time board, or I should say a leaderboard for you guys to see. So that was 1 minute and 38 seconds. I should really kind of write this down. I don't have anything to write this down with. Oh no, I should have really gotten a piece of paper. See, I knew I was disorganized for something. Alright, okay. I'm gonna have to save that. Damn it. Okay, you know what? I can save it on my phone actually. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. I've saved it on my phone. I've saved it as a screenshot. Okay, excellent. There we go. So that is the FV done. That was quite easy. The FV is a very light and maneuverable vehicle, and it's got a nice punchy gun. So that was a nice easy start to the to the challenge over here for the Great British Tank Off. Okay, next is up. We are going with the FV510. Take up your position, FV, and we're going to see how this vehicle does. So this carries the same 30mm gun as the other FV, but this thing has a lot more armor and is a lot heavier, so it probably might be a wee bit slower, but we're going to see how we do. Because again, this thing is a larger vehicle with space armor, so it's going to be difficult getting in and out these vehicles, but we're going to see how well we do. Alright, okay, here we go guys. We're going to get into this in 3, 2, 1, go! Right, okay, I've started the stopwatch. Okay, here we go. Alright, okay, so again, so this is going to be, it's going to be a wee bit harder. Oh my goodness me. So the thing is, with these vehicles, there are a wee bit more jutty. I don't know why. Oh, I almost touched the vehicle there. Oh, that was close. So the thing is, with these vehicles being larger, they are a wee bit more jitterish. I don't know if it's just a mod or anything, but we're fine. Alright, going straight through these vehicles nice and easy. Alright, here we go. This is kind of going to be... Oh, did I go off the road there? Oh, I might have to put a 5-second penalty on for that. Alright, okay, we're going to have to go in and out these vehicles. Now, this vehicle is larger, so it's going to be more tougher to kind of maneuver around these vehicles. Oh, I think I might need to add 5 seconds onto that penalty there. Oh, I almost messed up. There we go. Right, okay, right, let's go through in and out these vehicles. Oh, it's going to be harder. Okay, here we go. Here comes the hardest part of all, going through these mortars again. Now, as you remember, these mortars are small, and they're very difficult to maneuver through. Oh, I didn't kill him. Oh, I thought I killed that person there. Oh, I'm sorry. We won't have to write home to your wife and children. Don't worry. Oh my God, you're stopping. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Oh my God, there's an explosion. By the way, that does not count on for 5 seconds. That was just already there. Alright, okay, there we go. Right, okay, there we go. Get to the pedestrian line. Get to the pedestrian line. And fire. Fire, 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 fire. Alright, okay, and stop. There we go, and stop. Okay, so that was 1 minute and 43 seconds. So that was actually slower. Plus, I think I did go out that road, so I'm going to have to add another 5-second penalty onto that. So that was 1 minute and 43 seconds plus a 5-second penalty. So I will be adding that onto the next round. So out of round one, that is round one complete, and the winner is the FV107 for doing it in quicker time. But it wasn't just maneuverability, it was firepower as well. So I would say I would maybe give the FV the firepower because, well, which would only make it fair. So we will deduct a 5-second penalty off that, so that is the original time of 1 minute and 43 seconds. In that case, the FV107 is still the winner in round one. So there we go. That is maneuverability. For, I would say, for my judging on maneuverability, I give it to the FV, but for firepower, I give it to the other FV. Even though they have the same guns, I think this thing is just better in a would just be better in a one-to-one against against a competitive another competitive armored vehicle. So I give the firepower to the FE, but I give the maneuverability to the FV107, but the FV510 I give firepower. So again, so that is maneuverability goes to the FV107, but the firepower goes to the FV110. So there we go, that is round 1 complete, guys, and that is a tie, but unfortunately on time wise the FV107 won, so we have a clear winner of the FV107 being the crowned winner of round 1. So well done to the FV107. The British Army will be taking notes on that and we'll be using it into combat. So there we go, moving on to round 2, so I will see you in a sec. Okay guys, here we are. So we are now into round 2. So now we have the FV510 Warrior facing up against the FV510 Warlord. Now the difference between those tanks is that the FV Warrior is a lighter tank because it doesn't have that extra kind of sided armor, plus this thing is it has the same 30mm gun, but the Warlord does have that missile toe at the top of it, so which gives it the advantage on firepower. So but I would say they're pretty similar in mobility, and we're going to see how well they do. So this is for round 2, facing Warrior versus Warlord. So we are going to get going with our Warrior, and we are going to get going in 3, 2, 1, go. Right, here we go. So the Warrior, what can I say about it? Well, this thing is actually very, very good in combat. I would say it's better than the other first 2 in round 1. Armor wise, it is much better, and it does actually carry troops as well. I think it carries up to 9 troops, I believe, because I did a faction review on this as well. So if you haven't checked that out, then make sure you go check it out. Oh, I almost hit that vehicle. That was close. Alright, okay, in through these 2 vehicles over here, nice and easy. Alright, okay, here we go. We're gonna have to go in and out these vehicles. Oh, we're gonna make it. Oh, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Oh my god, this is gonna be a close one. It is gonna be a close one. Alright, okay. Oh no, we made the mistake of going down. Alright, we have to go up and around. So yeah, the Warrior, I would say, is quite good in kind of facing off maybe against, I don't know, I would say it's good at stopping off against like infantry, a large group of infantry, and if you're pinned down, then you're going to want to call this thing back up as soon as possible, because this thing is very, very maneuverable and very good and very light as well. And it actually has a sneaky crew. Oh, it looks like a few of our guys died over here. That was not me, that was someone else, but yeah. Okay, right, let's quickly get over here. Let's stop, we're at the pedestrians, right, let's go. Let's fire off, let's fire off, let's fire off, let's kill these vehicles over here. Okay, and stop. Okay, so that was 1 minute and 34 seconds. That was for the Warrior. Okay, so I'm going to save that. We're going to save that. There we go. Alright, okay, luckily we have some spare mortar crew over here, so we are some spare men, so these guys are going to get back on here. Unfortunately, we did lose 2 guys to that explosion, so I guess that didn't really count, but there we go. So the Warrior did it in 1 minute and 34 seconds. Now, going on for firepower wise, again, it carries the same 30mm gun as the 2 FVs over here, so it is quite hard to tell, but my personal opinion, I would choose the 30mm is very, very useful in maybe in a 1v1 situation against large groups of infantry, or even against jeeps or lightly armored vehicles that any of the enemy bring out. So it's definitely, I'm surprised I'm not able to blow up these jeeps over here, which is kind of annoying, which is what I was, the whole idea why I brought out these jeeps, is to try and blow them up, but they're just hitting the FV. It's just going straight through and hitting the FV. But so yeah, that was the Warrior. That is mobility. That was we're gonna put the Warrior. No, I don't know why it keeps the AI pathing is so weird. So we're gonna put it over here, right behind here. So that was the FV10 Warrior. Okay, moving on to the next vehicle, which is the Warlord. So here we go. Okay guys, here we go. So I'm an idiot. I actually forgot to save the time on that Warrior, but it was 1:34. I remember it being as 1:34 minutes. I don't know exactly, but it was 1:34. Okay, so next up we have the FV510 Warlord. Now with this vehicle, this thing actually has a missile toe over the Warrior. Plus this thing has some extra armor at the sides, as you can see, some nice shielded plates at the side, which does make this vehicle heavier, so I might lose in maneuverability wise, kind of going through in and out these vehicles. But for firepower, this thing definitely wins over the Warrior. I'll tell you that right now, because it has that missile toe over it, so I'll definitely give the points for it for that. Okay, so but we are going to get into maneuver. We're going to go into maneuverability now. We've got our Warlord set up and we have our time reset. So without further ado, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, here we go. So with this thing, with the Warlord, it has 152mm BGM-71 toe, which fires off, it's not a rapid, it's not kind of like the Germans where it has multiple missile toes. This thing only has one, so once you fire it once, you're going to have to kind of wait like a massive reload. I would say maybe about 10 to 15 seconds, maybe longer, depends how, you know, how quickly the crew reload it. So I would be careful when taking this vehicle out into battlefield, that when you do take this thing out, I would do use. Okay, well unfortunately that is a pit. I shat myself there, but that is 5 seconds added on to explosion of touching that truck there, so that is a penalty of 5 seconds added on, unfortunately. But we're going to keep going. I don't know why it stopped there. Okay, we're going to go now in and out of these vehicles here. Oh, we're playing it very risky over here. Alright, okay, now it's the hardest part of the obstacle course, going through these mortars over here. We're testing true mobility over here. We are testing true mobility over here. We're going to see how well it does over here. Oh my god, this is going to be a close one. This is going to be a close one for time wise. Well, unfortunately I did get that 5-second penalty, but we're going to have to, we're going to load the 80 gems for this one because it can't blow it up. So we're going to go with the 80 gems. There we go, we got an explosion and stop. 1 minute and 32 seconds. Also is actually quicker, but unfortunately because we blew up that supply truck over here, that is an extra 5 seconds penalty added on to that, so that is quite unfortunate. So that will now make it, I will add up all the kind of calculations at the end with the time wise, but that is the Warlord there. Yeah, because it is bigger, as you can see, it is slightly bigger in size as well, so that's why it got to there as well. So that is round 2 complete of the Great British Tank Off Challenge. So in my opinion, who won? Well, in my opinion, it would have to be the Warrior in this case. Even though it doesn't have that missile toe, I just think this thing would be much better in the battlefield for quickly, you know, dealing at that nice 30mm gun that you've got there, or yeah, which is good at shooting down airplanes as well, which is all the vehicles shooting down. I can't speak. All these guns are good at shooting down kind of guns, because they are AA guns, so as well as infantry. But for just overall mobility, I would give, and firepower, I give it to the firepower I give it to the Warlord, but for mobility I would give it to the Warrior. So I would say in round 2, I would give it to the Warrior for the sake of being quicker and being more effective in battle. So yeah, there we go. That is round 2 complete. So we have the FV10 in round 1 as winner, and then we have the FV10 in round 2 as winner. Okay, moving on to the third and final round of the Great British Tank Off. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. So we have our third and final round coming up. We have the Challenger 2 coming up. Now after all of this, I'm not going to make a semi-final or final because the video would just go too long, but if you want me to make a semi-final for the 3 winners, then make sure you leave a comment down below if you want me to do that. But now, pitting up against each other is the Challenger 2 versus the Challenger 2 Applique, or the ATDU as the English would say. So we have our Challenger 2 ready up. Now the main difference between these two vehicles is that the Challenger 2 ATDU, or the Applique, is much heavier and much slower. As you can see, it's got literally all protection all round everywhere, whereas the Challenger 2, it literally has no protection at the sides or the rear, so which makes it vulnerable to rear shots at the sides, or the vehicle at the, you know, makes it vulnerable at the rear or the sides, whereas this thing can stand a few hits from the sides and rear. So but this will test the ultimate mobility of the two tanks, and we will see which one is better. Now, they both have the same guns, so firepower, I would say they're unequal on par with each other, but we're going to see mostly for mobility in this section. So we have our time reset, we have our vehicle lined up, ready to go, and we're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Right, let's go. Now this thing, as you know, the Challengers are a much slower vehicle, so they're going to take a lot longer to kind of get around the battlefield. But in a straight line, this thing is actually very quick in a straight line. But when going around corners and all that, this thing is quite slow. Now, because these vehicles are 10 times bigger than the vehicles in round 1 and 2, it is going to be a lot slower. So we are definitely going to have to try and be careful on maneuvering around these supply trucks and these vehicles over here. And okay, so good so far, we're doing good so far, and we're going to have to try and get through this narrow gap over here. Oh, I feel like I should make those gaps a wee bit more narrow, but here, this is the hardest part for these tanks, trying to get in and out of these vehicles over here. See if we can try and do it. Now, if the gun does hit the vehicle and it does blow up, I'm not going to count that, because that is just part of the gun doesn't really count as part of the tank. It actually has to be the main part of the tank. Oh wait, the tank has just gone outside the highway, which is going to be a 5-second penalty. Oh my goodness, these vehicles are hugely big, so we're going to have to take 5-second penalty off this Challenger 2 for going outside the highway, or the road I should say. So we are definitely going to be counting that as 5 seconds penalty. Alright, now this is the much hardest part of this challenge, going in and out of these mortars. Because the mortars are small, they are very hard to kind of go around, whereas the supply trucks were easy and big, and they've got a large gap, whereas these tanks have the mortars are much smaller, and we're gonna have to try and maneuver around these. I'm not stopping, I'm just holding the W key. It's you actually do have to stop it, because if you keep going, it'll just keep going straight line without turning, so you do actually have to kind of take away the W key. Oh, that was close, that was very close, hitting those guys right there. Oh my god, this is going to be a nightmare to try and travel around in a battlefield, maneuvering everywhere. And the reason that I put these mortars, these kind of mortar guys over here, is because if these things are ever used in battlefield for mines, then they'd have to maneuver around mines, which would be a pain. Alright, okay, here we go, we're at the pedestrian line. Right, let's get our gun ready and fire. Right, there we go, and stop. There we go, and it's just blown up the jeeps as well, which is what I wanted, and we've killed some men as well, for some reason. Okay, there we go. So that was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So that is a lot slower. That is definitely a lot slower than these two vehicles over here. But there we go. Plus, unfortunately, we're going to add on that 5-second penalty where it did go off the road slightly. So we're going to add a 5-second penalty onto that time lap there. So there we go. That was the Challenger 2 in round 3, or in the final round of this epic of the Great British Tank Off. Alright, so we're going to just park it right here. Excellent. Okay, so that was the Challenger 2, doing it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, plus the 5 seconds added on to that. So there we go. That is round 3 of part 1 done. But now we're going to get into the second tank, which will be the Challenger Applique, or Challenger 2 ATDU. So without further ado, let's go. Okay guys, so here we go. We have our Challenger Applique, or Challenger ATDU, finally set up and ready to go for the last time of this obstacle course. And the British are definitely taking notes on what these vehicles are like on the battlefield, with maneuverability and firepower as well. So the British commanders are taking notes on this. I'm sniffing coke. No, not actually, but yes, here we are. So we have got our Challenger 2 Applique ready. I've got my time reset and ready to go, and we are just about, yeah, we're actually ready to go. So on our marks, on our marks, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, let's go, go, go. So the Challenger 2 ATDU or the Applique is a much, much heavier vehicle than the Challenger 2, because you can see it has all-round protection around the turret, around the sides of the tanks, around, you can see it's literally just a better Challenger 2 in every single way. And we're going to have to be very, very careful when going around these. Now, this first part of the obstacle course is quite easy again, just going in and out of these supply trucks, nothing too major, and then going to the medium part of the obstacle course of it slipping through these supply trucks that are parked here. Oh, that was close. Right, okay, now we're going to have to do the much harder part of the challenge by keeping this thing inside the road. Oh, I did slightly go past the white line. Oh, I don't know if I should take that off. Oh, we're going to have to see. We'll see how well it does around the rest of the course. Oh, so yeah, the Challenger, I would personally, if I was going for kind of getting into position, getting there in and out, then I would pick the Challenger 2 over the Applique, just because the fact that even though it doesn't have that added armor, you can get to positions a lot faster and you can get there in time. And but for firepower wise or all-round coverage, I would definitely choose the Challenger 2 Applique or the ATDU, just for overall protection against, you know, anti-tank mines and all that, where the Challenger 2, the regular Challenger 2, doesn't have that all-round protection that you need. So it is definitely a tough one to choose for that. But out of all these rounds, out of all these vehicles that I've played, which one would you guys, you know, choose for mobility and firepower? Now, I know that most of the first two rounds the tanks were the same for the guns wise for 30mm, but take into account that just other than the 30mm, you know, would it just be oh, I almost ran them over there. Oh my god, I'm sorry I'm doing this so slow, but I can't. It's literally just the tank itself kind of jittering, trying to get it back itself back and forwards here. I'm literally just going as fast as I can, as fast as this vehicle can go. Unfortunately, this thing is very, very heavy and very big. And okay, come on, we can make it to the finishing line. Right, okay, get to the pedestrian crossing line and stop and fire. There we go, and stop the timer. There we go. So the Challenger 2 Applique did it in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't know if you guys can see that, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, I don't think I'm going to be adding on that 5-second penalty for slightly going past it, because as a Challenger 2 that clearly went past, but that was only slightly, so I won't count that. But there we go. So for the challenge race, or for the challenge time, I will or for the timed lap I should say, the Challenger 2 still won, even with that 5-second penalty. As I remember, it did it in, oh, I don't know, it didn't say, but it did it in like 2 minutes and 25 seconds. That's including the penalty as well, whereas this thing did it in 2 minutes 30. So it only won, the Challenger only won it by 5 seconds. So it was very, very close, very, very close tie there. But Challenger 2 won on mobility, and both are equal in firepower. So I would say the Challenger 2 won in round 3. So there we go. That is it for the time. So overall, we have the winners of round 1. In round 1, the winner is the FV510. In round 2, the winner was the FV510 Warrior. And in round 3, the winner was the Challenger 2. I was about to say the Challenger 2. So actually, it's all the kind of the starting kind of heavy kind of non-protection tanks that won versus over all the kind of heavy protected tanks. So there you go. It just shows that you don't always need that heavy armor that you need. Sometimes you just need just pure mobility, and you just need sometimes need that I don't know what I was going to say. You don't always need that protection all the time. You sometimes just need mobility, which is the main thing that you always need. But of course, there we go, guys. That is it for today's video. That was actually really fun. I actually really did enjoy recording that. It did take me a long time to set up, but if you do want to see more of these challenges and more of these awesome kind of obstacle courses, then let me know in the comments down below, because it is actually really fun to make, and it is just awesome. And I know this video was really long, but it took a lot of hard effort, and I just did fart and absolutely stinks. But yeah, but yeah, it is a lot of fun today to do it, and I could do them with other factions as well. I can do it with France, because France is, even though they don't have many selection for vehicles, they have their vehicles are very you know, very maneuverable and very different compared to the British. Or maybe I could do a faction v faction face off. That would be really good to see. So let me know what your thoughts are below on this video, and also any other challenges that you guys have in mind that you want me to do, then I will definitely take a list of them. And of course, what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be putting the timed, right now on screen will be the times that the tanks did them in. Now of course I probably might have to redo the laps off camera, just so, because some of them I didn't actually save it, but I will put them on screen now so you can see for yourself who won. And do you think, and tell me in each round, who do you think did win? Do you think in round 1, do you think the FV510 won, or do you think the FV10 should have won, or do you think that the Warlord should have won, or do you think the Challenger 2 should have won, Challenger 2 Applique should have won? So tell me what your thoughts are below on this video, and also tell me what your thoughts are on each of the rounds of what you thought. So other than that, guys, I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. Oh, and also I do have some subscriber shoutouts to do for here, and let me just get it up for you, and let me just get it up as I'm spitting all over my camera. So a big shout out to Robert Burnett, and I think I do have a few other shout outs to do as well, but that will be in the next video. Only the reason I'm doing that is because the people who have subscribed, I actually haven't got a notification of it yet, but what I'll do is for next video I will write down the name, so that means you guys will get a shout out definitely for next time. So other than that, guys, I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching and our support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later and goodbye.